Hakadosh Boker Tov, Shavua Tov, Masechet Succah Daf Daled Amud Aleph 4A1. We said over there, the Afagav de Batlinu Lekulu. That means imagine right now you had a 20 amot high sukkah, and then you came and you annulled something to be there the entire time of the Chag, right? For example, Karim Ksatot, which is basically pillows, blankets. You put it on the bottom, and therefore, if you put it on the bottom, right, by the height of the sukkah, it's higher. The floor is higher. So therefore, the height of the sukkah is now less than 20 amot. It says it's still not good. Why? People don't put stam karim uksatot there like in a fixed way. So because of that, his mind is annulled, right, to everybody else. So therefore, it's not a good sukkah. However, though, if you put teven ubitro, if you put straw and then he annulled it, right, it is a good miut. The kol sheken afar, or all the more so afar, and he annulled it, right? So now we're going to see, and then we'll look at the picture, right? If you look, we'll see the picture already from now. This is where it is, right? Where he actually filled it up with malek kasho tevin. Yeah. No, 1 second. This is Yordin, so to before. Here it is, the tevin. Here it is, tevin. He put the tevin in bitlo. Okay, very good. So let's talk.
Tevin is kasher and
yes, everything else is going to be disqualified. Okay.
Because it's stable, no?
Because that you do nullify it. You leave it there. Meaning, pick pillows, blankets. You're never going to put it there and leave it there in the sukkah. Tevin, you could leave it there in the sukkah. You'll leave it there for the rest of the year. You'll leave it for the rest of your life. So therefore, it's going to be okay. So says the Gemara, Tevin she'ena tidlifanoto. Tevin, right? Any type of grains that you're not going to take it away in the future, right? Ve'afar stam, and afar stam, which you didn't say anything, is a machloket Rabbi Yosef ve'Rabbanan. Okay, the Tanam, as we learned in the Mishnah, Bait miluha, right? Milahu teven otzrorot bitlo. Imagine you have a house that you filled it with teven otzrorot, okay, ubitlo, and you annulled it. So therefore, mevutal, it's going to be batel to the house, right? And therefore, there's no halal tefach on top of the deceased person. Bitlo in, only if you annulled it, yes. Lo bitlo lo, but if you didn't know. The Tani Allah Rabbi Yosef, Omer Rabbi Yosef says, Teven enati lefanoto hareu ke'afar stam uvatel. But afar v'ati lefanoto hareu ke'stam teven velo batel. Basically, here we're trying to make a differentiation between afar and teven. If you paid attention at the beginning, we said there was a difference. A tevin, which you're not going to take out, is like afar stam, right? Which means by afar, I don't know whether I'm going to take it out or not. But by the tevin, I already knew that you weren't going to take it out. The only thing is, you just didn't annul it with your mouth. So says the Mishnah over there, if you took this house and you filled it up with tevin, otzrorot, with grains or with small stones, and then you annulled it, it's going to be batel. Only if you're mevatel, yes. But if you were mevatel, no. So we taught on that, Rabbi Yosef says, Teven enati lefanoto areu kafar stam. So if it's the Teven that you're not going to, in the future, take it away, so then that's like kafar stam, and it's going to be batel. But afar, and you are going to take it away, so then that's like stam Teven, right? And it's not going to be batel. Okay, you have it in the footnote over there. In the footnote over there, you have over there the how do you call it? The chart. The chart says afar and teven. If you annulled it mefurash, it's going to be batel. You have that chart right there. That chart. Yeah. If you annulled the mefurash, it's batel. Okay. On the other side of the chart, on the last one, it says if you're going to take it away, it's not batel. Right. What about stam? Stam, it says over there, which means you didn't annul it, but you don't know. Meaning you don't know what you're doing with it. So by teven, it's not batel. But by afar, in the Mishnah, it's not batel, but according to Rabbi Yosef, it's batel. And if you're not going to take it away at all, right? So it says over here, but you just didn't annul it with your mouth. So then here you have the machloke between the Mishnah and Rabbi Yosef. According to the Mishnah, it's not batel. And according to Rabbi Yosef, it is going to be batel.
But when I'm going to take down the sukkah, you're going to take it away anyway.
Doesn't matter. But until then, you already annulled it. So that's okay. Okay? Fine. So now the Mishnah, the Gemara says, what happens if it was 20 amot tall, but then you had hutzin coming out, right, from within the 20 amot? So again, I'm sharing the screen, right? This was over here. It's 20 amot, and the hutzin, which are like the schach, are coming down within 20 amot. You see over here, yeah, within the 20 amot. Okay. In tzilatam ruba mechamata, right? If you're going to have more tzel, right? Then the in tzilatam ruba mechamatam kshira, it's going to be kosher. In lav, and if not, psula, it's going to be pasul. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So now he says like this. He says. So again, if it's going to be more tzel than the chama, meaning more shade than the sun, it's going to be kosher. And if not, it's pasul. So again, one more time. Here's the 20 amot, and you have the coming down. You have these branches coming down within the 20 amot. Okay. Now you have the next case. Hayta givua sarat tfachim. This is the 10 tfachim one. It's 10 tfachim, so it's very, very short. And the hutzin are coming down into it as well. Rabbi wanted to say also the same thing. As long as it's got more, right, sun than shade, it should be kosher. So Rava says, no, hadira srucha, that's considered a hadira srucha, bad house. Nobody's going to. Remember, 10 tfachim is 80 centimeters. You know what I mean? Right, this table is around 80 centimeters.
But you
Right,
need
tall.
to sit down.
Right, but here you can hardly sit down. What are you going to sit down? Imagine you're going to sit down over here. You have to be under the table, right?
I think it's until here.
Which one?
It's until here.
That's 1 minute.
Imagine it was 20 amot and you made an itzteba. Now, what exactly is an itzteba? Here I'm going to share the screen again. This is an itzteba. Itzteba is like a piece of like stone. Right, yeah, a bama in the middle. Okay, so you made an itzteba. Now here it says, Keneged dofen ha'emtzai, which is close to the wall. Okay, al penei kula, the entire thing. V'yesh ba hechsher, yeah, but we're going to see now. V'yesh ba hechsher sukkah, and it's got enough to make hechsher sukkah, kshera, it's going to be kosher. However, though, if it's going to be minatzad, yeah, which means if it's going to be from the side, if there's going to be from the side of the itzba to the kotel 4 amot, psula, less than 4 amot, it's going to be kosher. So here it is. Look at here. This is a case of that it was tall 20 amot. He made an itzba keneged, right? Dofen ha'emtzai, right? And al penei kula, the entire thing. V'yesh ba hechsher sukkah kshera. So that means this, it says here, this is the ikar sukkah. It's zayin and zayin tfachim, so 7 tfachim. Right, and it goes up and it minimizes now because from the itzba, from this block, from this stool until the top, it's less than 20 tfachim. It's kosher. That is the shita of
What is
Rashi.
2 by 2?
7 by 7, 7 tfachim, 7 tfachim.
7 tfachim is
7
70
times
something meters. No, 7 by 7.
7 tfachim. Every single tefach
7
is 8
tfachim is
centimeters.
70 meters.
No, 1 tefach is 8 centimeters. So 7 tefachim is
56
centimeters. Okay, so that was that case. Now the next case is okay. In yesh mitzvat haitzba lakotel. Let's okay for a moment. Okay, so now says the Gemara, Mike Mashmalan. What does it come to teach you? Damnin and dofen akuma, that we do say dofen akuma. He says Tanina. We learned the concept of dofen akuma. You remember what dofen akuma is? Dofen akuma is, for example, can you put the sukkah underneath, right outside your house, connected to your house? And many times your house has the gutter, you know, and it's not only the gutter, also like a piece of roof which is sticking out. So underneath the overhang. So underneath that overhang, we consider that a dofen akuma, that it's part of the wall. If you consider it as part of the wall, so it doesn't disqualify the rest of the sukkah. You're not allowed to sit under there. But it's considered a wall. So therefore, you look at the wall going straight up and then curving. So it means that even though it's a roof, that's a wall. So it's called dofen akuma. It continues.
That keeps the sukkah kosher.
And it keeps the sukkah kosher.
Even there's a space between the overhang and the roof of the sukkah.
Of course. Yeah.
There's a space in between.
Yeah,
Okay.
but you usually don't cover that area. Like you leave that area empty, but just you're not allowed to sit there. There you could put the women, you could put the, things like that. Okay? So it says here, well, we're going to teach us dofen akuma. Tanina, we already learned in the Mishnah. Bait shenivchat v'sikech al gaba. If you have a house that it broke, and all of a sudden you put schach on top of it, If you have from the wall to the schach 4 amot, psula, it's going to be pasul. If it's going to be less than that, it's going to be kshira. Okay, so we already learned it. So says the Gemara, no. I would have thought to say hatamu dechazia dofen aval hacha tela chazia, right? Dofen imalo. I would have said over there it could still be like a wall. Here it cannot be like a wall. So I would say that it's not going to be said the salachav dofen akuma. Kamash Malan comes to teach you that even by an itztaba we always say a dofen akuma as well. Okay, fine. Hayita givua esrim amal b'naitzva b'mtzaita. What happens if it was going to be right that you came and you built it in the middle? That's this case over here. This is the case of the Bait Shenifchat, the Sikech al Gabav. Yeah, you can see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you have Bait Shenifchat. So you have the house that the ceiling came in.
Roof.
The roof. Here it
I
is.
was in London.
No, but there they open it up. It's not that it just breaks.
No, he make it.
He make it like that. Yeah, they make it like that.
No, not like that, but he make it. I told him, what? We're not going to the sukkah. He told me, you're in the sukkah right now. I look upstairs.
In Israel, they do that a lot.
In London.
In Israel and in Toronto.
It's too raining. It's too raining and he can close it.
Yeah, 100%. So this is what it is. Look here. In the middle of the house, in the house, right? This is called the sukkah psula. Why? Because there's more than 4 amot from the walls until the schach. If there's more than 4 amot from the walls until the schach, sukkah psula. In this case, though, there's less than 4 amot. That's why it says here pachot me'arba amot. On each side, if there's going to be, that's called dofen akuma, and that's going to be kosher. So now this is the new case that we're talking about. The new case is talking about that you only made the itztaba, which is like the block in the middle, over here in the middle of the sukkah. Not right over here, just in the middle of the sukkah you made it. Now it's less than 20 amot because of the block. The block is 7 tvachim by 7 tvachim, but it's in the middle.
But why is pasul when this is
because this, you have more than 4 amot from the wall, from the roof, until from the roof, you have more. Yes, because dofen akuma, you only say if it's less than 4 amot. If it's more than 4 amot, you don't say dofen akuma. So therefore, there's no walls to that sukkah. That sukkah is not covered by any walls. The walls are too far away.
Yeah, but regular sukkah also you don't have.
No, you have to have a minimum of 2.5 walls. We're going to see here. You always have to have walls. Here, the walls of the house are the 4 walls.
You need less than 4 amot, huh?
Less than 4 amot. Okay? So says the Gemara, Hayta gevua ben-20 amot, you built a itztaba in the middle. If you have from the side of the itztaba to the wall, you have 4 amot each time. So it's psula. Less than 4 amot, it's going to be kosher. So this case, it's going to be, if there's more than 4 amot, it's pasul. If it's less than 4 amot, it's kosher. So says the Gemara, Michael, what does it come and teach you? That we're going to say dofen akuma, it's the same case. Says the Gemara, no. I would have thought say dofen akuma is only from one side. But kol ruach veruach, we don't say it. Kamash malan, that you could say dofen akuma from every single angle. Meaning we only thought that you could say dofen akuma from one angle. Let's say from the north or the east. No. Every single angle you could still say dofen akuma. Okay? Next case. Hayeta pechuta me'asara tfachim. Imagine if it's going to be less than 10 tvachim. V'chakak ba kedei lashlima la'asara. And you did chakika, which means you went and you went on the bottom. You dug underneath in order to finish the 10 tvachim. Im yesh mischat chakika v'lakot shosha tvachim. If you have 3 tvachim, right, from the end of the chakika until the wall, it's going to be psula. So this is this case here. Look over here. Yeah, in this case over here, I'm just going to highlight it so you can see the cursor. Here you have, this is the chakika, which means underneath, they broke underneath the tiles in order that it's more than 10 tvachim. The top of the sukkah to the floor was less than 10 tvachim. You broke from the tiles. So it says the Gemara, if from the end of the breaking of the tiles until the walls of the sukkah, yeah, so therefore, if it was going to be less than 3 tvachim, it's going to be kosher, right? If it's going to be more than 3 tvachim, which is this case, it's going to be pasul. Okay?
You say something like that in Eruvin also. No?
Yes, 100%. Okay, these are all Tosafot. Tosafot, okay? Fine. So now it says the Gemara, right? We're on Daled Amud Bet, 4b. Pachom mishlosha tvachim. If it's going to be less than 3 tvachim, it's going to be kosher. Ma'ishna dehatam de'amarta pachom me'arba amot u'ma'ishna achad de'amarta pachom mishlosha tvachim. Ask the Gemara, what's the difference between the 4 amot and 3 tvachim? In the case of that you dug underneath, you only had 3 tvachim, which is 24 centimeters. That's nothing. 24 centimeters from the end of the where you dug out the tiles until the wall. Less than 3 tvachim, kosher. More than 3 tvachim, disqualified. So why in the other cases do we all say that it's 4 amot? 4 amot, right? Every amah is 48 centimeters. So 4 amot is 1.92 meters. You understand? It's a completely different world, 1.92 meters to 24 centimeters.
Sure.
And it said it's almost times 8. So what's going on over here? So says the Gemara, Hatam diite ledofin, pachot me'arba amot, sagya. There, right, the dolphin is already there. So therefore, if you have the distance between the wall, right, the dolphin is the wall. If you have the distance between the wall and the cubicle is less than 4 amot, it's going to be okay. But here, l'shavu a dolphin, we're trying to make it into a wall. There, less than 3 tvachim, you say levud. Let more than 3 tvachim, we don't say levud. Levud is basically that we're connecting something together. Remember, what is levud? Right? For example, a person has to sit on the floor if they're in avelut. They don't have to sit exactly on the floor. They could sit on the small chairs. But as long as the small chairs are within 3 tvachim from the ground, which is 24 centimeters. The same thing, if you had, let's say, one pole, right? Or one piece of wood within the 3 tvachim. And then again, another piece of wood within the 3 tvachim, another piece of wood within the 3 tvachim, even though there's empty space in between, the fact that each one is within the 3 tvachim from each other, it's connected. That's called levud. So the same thing, that's what we're doing over here. No, that's kosher. It's going to be 3 within the 3 tvachim of each one. Okay? The string, that's why they do the string, that they put it around in order to strengthen it, that it shouldn't move with the wind. Because if not, it's disqualified. Right? All those types of, how do you call this, those sukkot that only have plastic, if you don't put the string, it's disqualified because then it just moves. Right? It moves too much with the wind. Okay? Imagine it's going to be 20 amot, more than 20 amot tall, and then you went and you made an amud, right? Which is like amud is like a pillar in the middle, which is 10 tfachim. That's this picture over here. Over here. You see it? The amud? Yeah? This is the amud. Over here in the middle. 10 tfachim tall, so 80 centimeters tall. V'yesh po Masechet Succah, and it has Masechet Succah. So Sava Rabbi Elimim, Rabbi thought to say, good asik mechitzata. What does that mean? Right? You're going to come and you're going to bring it up from the mechitzot. Rava says, Ba'ina mechitzot nikro v'leka. No. Good asik mechitzata means that it's going to go up all the way. He says, we don't say that unless a mechitza is actually nikar. It's recognizable in mechitzot, and here you don't have it, meaning it's not recognizable. Okay? They made it like as if that it's going up in the picture. If you look in the picture, it looks like it's, over here, it's all like shady. See, this is like all shaded. Udachi mechitzata means it goes all the way up, and now it's less than 10, 20 tvachim, but we don't say that. Okay, but it's not nikar. Tanu Rabbanan, we also learned the Braita. Na'atzar ba kundusin. Yeah, if you put 4 kundusin, right, v'sikech al gaban, and you put schach on top of them. Right, Rabbi Yaakov machshir, Chachamim posim. Rabbi Yaakov says it's kosher, and Chachamim says pasul. So this is this case again. He put 4 kundusin. So here you have 4 pillars, right? On the 4 corners. On the 4 corners, you have like 4 pieces of wood, right? Like 4 beams, right? Let's say whatever it is, 4 by 4, 2 by 2, whatever you want. Here you have beams, 4 beams, 1, 2, 3, 4 beams, and it went all the way up. Okay. Now what did you do? You put schach on top of it. So according to the first shita, which is Rabbi Yaakov, he says it's going to be kosher. Chachamim say
there's no walls, isn't it?
No walls. Yeah, because we say good achi nechitzata, because we say that the walls of the house underneath it, it pretends to go up. That's the good achit means it's going up. Mechitzata is a mechitza. Mechitza is the walls, partitions. These are called mechitzot, partitions, walls. So therefore, I pretend that these walls, right over here, this walls of the house, they're going up. That's what I'm pretending. That's what you have. These. It looks like yellowish. It's going up, as it's a pretend.
The sukkah is from the floor all the way to the top. There.
Yes, exactly.
So it's more than 20 feet.
No, but you go from the bottom, from the feet, you can't get rid of the house. So it's going from it's like a stage. So that's going to be kosher. Right? It's going to stay there forever. So that's it. Okay, you're not going to get rid of the house.
Yeah,
so
like in the building, you have a penthouse or something.
Exactly, you're in a penthouse and you're doing it on the roof, right? It's more than 20 amot.
No, but this we put 2 walls, 3 walls.
Okay, no, so
walls.
that's a concept of gudachi mechitzata, which means that the walls are going up. Okay, the walls are going up. So says the Gemara, Amar Ravuna says, machloket is al sfat agag. The machloket is only if you're doing a mamash on the border of the roof. That Rabbi Yaakov holds gudasik mechitzata, and Rabbanan don't hold of this gudasik mechitzata. Aval be'emtza agag, but in the middle of the roof, according to everybody, it's pasul. Meaning, if it's going to be in the middle of the roof, according to everybody, it's disqualified. But if it was going to be in mamash the edges of the roof, so then I'm using the roof as the walls.
The 4 corners.
Yeah, the 4 corners of the wall. Right? Rav Nachman holds be'emtza agag is a machloket. Okay, that's a shita of Rav Nachman. That even in the middle of the roof is a machloket. So Ibailehu. So now, which one? Yes.
Why is machloket?
No, because the walls is not the.
There's no walls. So we're going to ask the following question. Be'emtza agag machloket, aval sfat agag l'divra kol keshira, or dilma bezo ven bezo machloket. Do we say that if it's in the middle of the roof, yeah, he says it's going to be a machloket, but if it's going to be on the side of the roof, according to everybody, it's going to be kosher? Or do we say that it's always going to be a machloket? Says the Gemara, we don't have an answer. That means we don't know when the machloket is. Is it always or not? We don't have an answer. Okay? So Meitzvei, now we're going to ask another question. What was the case that we just had? We just said you put 4, right, kundusin on the ground, and you put schach on top of them. Rabbi Yaakov says it's kosher, he says it's pasul. What does it mean, the aretz? What does it mean, the land? So it's like it's like in the middle of the roof, right? And still, Rabbi Yaakov said it's going to be kosher. So Tufta, the Ravuna, there's a question against Ravuna. Everyone understood the case. Yes. This case now is in the middle of the ground. So it's this one over here. Here. This is in the middle of the roof, right? In the middle of the roof. So this we said it's going to be then there's no walls because there's no walls. Right. And then this is the other case of Na'atz Arba Kunusim Ba'aretz on the ground, right? Vesikech al gabav. Sorry, where's my cursor? Here it is, this case.
What on the bottom of the Sukkah?
Here.
What?
No, what he did was it talked about Hakika, right? This is a little bit different, right? So it says over here, right, that in such a case, we said it's gonna be like on top of the roof. And still we said, Rabbi Yaakov said that it's gonna be kosher. This is a question against, right, Ravuna. So Tivta, it's a good question. Right? Now the Gemara continues and says, Ve'od, and furthermore, right? Be'enso the pliga. You're going to tell me the machlok is only in the middle of the wall, in the middle of the roof. Aval sfat agag, but if it's going to be on the sides, according to everybody, it's kosher. So why don't we say that that's going to be a tiyuvta against Ravuna in 2 different cases? Number one, when he said that if it was in the middle, it's going to be according to everybody pasul, and it's not true because it's a machloket. And number 2, that which he said at the beginning, that the machloket was when it's on the side of the wall, meaning like on the side of the roof. He says we're talking about only in a case where that if it's going to be on the side of the roof, it's a mashma that it's going to be kosher according to everybody. So Ravuna is going to answer you, plige be'emtza agag, the machloket is in the middle of the roof, and the same halacha would apply on the side of the roof as well. So why are they arguing then in the middle of the roof? To tell you the shita of Rabbi Yaakov that even in the middle of the roof, he still says that it's going to be kosher. Meaning, really, it's a machloket and everything. So why do we only say in the middle? To show you that even in that case, he says it's kosher. Right, which is a big chiddush. Yeah, it's like going up. It's like going up. Yeah, that's what we're saying. We're going that it's going up.
You can. Okay.
Yeah, we're being somech on it's called gud asik mechitzata, that is going up. So we thought beforehand that you only say that if it's on the sides, meaning over here. So therefore here I'm pretending that this mechitzah is going up, right? But not if it's here. But he says, but as long as it's going to be, it will less than a tefach on each one, it's going to be kosher.
Maybe it's kasher, but it's sakanat nefashot.
Fine, okay, you're right. You're talking about a different halacha. He's talking about ma'akeh, that you have to put okay, but you're right, but that's a different halacha. I don't even know how you get up there. Maybe you have to use a ladder.
We don't know the reason of why Rabbi Yaakov said it's kosher.
No,
you're in the middle of the roof. If it's on the side, okay.
Tanu Rabbanan, we learned in the Braita, Na'atz imagine you put 4 different types of poles, right? The 4 different things on the floor, and then you put schach on top of them. Rabbi Yaakov says, "Ro'in sheilu yichakaku." So here, these were like circle poles. It wasn't like beams, which are like straight or squared. It was circle. So it says, right? And now we are going to look at it as if that they're going to come and they're going to do it like a ribua, like a square. Now, if you could actually divide it between them, and you have tefach for one side and another side, so nidonin mishum diomad. So then it's going to be like an amud kaful, which is basically the double right? Amud. In lav, and if not, right? En no din in diomad. You're not going to make a diomad. Sheyad Rabbi Yaakov Omer. Rabbi Yaakov says diom de sukkah is a tefach. Chachamim says no. You have to have two of them, like the halacha of 7 tefachim, and then the third one could be a tefach, and then it's going to be okay. Okay, fine, very good. So we see that it was a machloket. Next, we just said that if it's not going to be gavoa 10 tefachim, it's going to be pasul. Menalan, how do we know this? Itmar was stated of Rav Chanin, Rav Yochanan, Rav Chaviva Matu. Here there was a group of rabbis: Rav, Rabbi Chanina, Rabbi Yochanan, and Rav Chaviva. Now, in all of Moed, when you have this group, some people take away Rabbi Yochanan and they put in Rabbi Yonatan instead of Yochanan. So says the Gemara, where do you learn it from? Aharon was Tisha. The Aron was in the Kodesh Kodashim, right, or in the Mishkan, right over there, where they had the Sefer Torah, they had everything there. That's the Aron. So the Aron, which they had the Luchot, right? So it says over here, the Aron was 9 tefachim. The Kaporet, which is the cover of the Aron, which is on top, is 1 tefach. So therefore you have 10 tefachim. Uchtiv, and it's written, I'm going to be with you there, and I'm going to speak to you on top of the Kaporet. Okay, Vetanya, we learned in a Braita. Rabbi Yosef says, it never went down to a human being. And Moshe Rabbeinu Eliyahu never came up. Which means, how could it be that HaKadosh Baruch Hu was speaking to Moshe me'ala kaporet, which means from above 10 tefachim. So therefore, above 10 tefachim is not considered the land anymore. It's a different reshut. So from here we learn that any type of a mechitza has to be minimum 10 tefachim. So if you have a mechitza which is less than 10 tefachim, it's not a mechitza. So where do they learn that from? From the kaporet. And that's why we're learning about the minimum of a sukkah. Yes, from the Mishkan. So that's how we're learning from here. Let me just share the screen. Right? This is the kaporet. Right? This is the kaporet tefach. So the kaporet itself was 1 tefach. And from the bottom to here is 9. Kiruvim. So therefore, right, there's the kiruvim on top. The kiruvim was more than that. But we're not talking about the kiruvim. Even without the kiruvim. This is the kaporet. This is Aaron. So the kaporet was 1 tefach. The rest of it was 9, 10 in total. And that's how we have that it was 10, that the minimum of mechitza is going to be 10 tefachim. This is for next day. Bezat Hashem. Have a wonderful day.